Hello, hello. Are you struggling to finish that draft despite all your efforts to planning and everything? It seems to be painful, more painful than you thought. It's heavy and you start to feel the fatigue. If you answered yes to this, then you are at the right place. Today in this live, we will talk about strategies that will get you to the finish line with that first draft. Hey, it's Judith Glory connecting back with you in our week eight. What is it? It is like this. In week eight of our series on how to activate, bring out the author to move from that idea to that completed book. How are things for you? Well, if you feel like it's heavy, oh, it's getting tough, I feel like giving up, good. It's normal. And today we are going to see strategies that can keep you going, that can keep you in action. We want you to get to the finish line. We think you can get to the finish line. Today we will see how you do that. Before delving into the content of today, I feel like asking you how much progress with your draft, with your writing project, how far. I'm so curious. I would like to hear from you how much progress with your writing. And no matter what or where you are, I really want to stop and say whatever is the answer, just be grateful for where you are, because couple weeks ago you had nothing. So even if, Judith, I just wrote a paragraph, just a chapter, I was supposed to do 5,000 words, I just did 2,000. That's 2,000 more than last week. That's one chapter more than last week. That's one page more than last week. As you will see in today's content, we'll talk a lot about celebrating the progress, acknowledging mini progress, and celebrating them. So, no matter where you are in your journey, please don't get kind of discouraged or disappointed. Um, I think I said it many times for when I've done this in group. This is the month, this is the place where a lot of people give up because they feel like the progress is not as much as they were supposed to be, or it's harder. They feel the heaviness, and sometimes people will tell me, whoa, Judith, I really wanted this, but it's getting heavier and harder than I thought. How do you get past that heaviness? How do you keep going? It's what we'll be talking about today. But I want to start by telling you, one, it's normal. Two, just hang in there. Just hang in there and stopping to acknowledge where you come from. It's a great strategy to give that little energy when you feel like, oh my God, it's just too much. Hey, I have a draft. I have an outline. I have this many chapters. I have this many sessions under my belt. That's progress. And looking and acknowledging what you've been able to do so far will create some momentum. You will see the progress. And in this live, we will take the time. I'll help you see that even if you're aware or not, you've made a lot of progress. Really, 3 weeks ago, you were not here. When we started the live, you had an idea. A lot of people you reach out, we're doing this because you gave comments. Oh, Judith, I always thought about writing a book. Where to start? I don't know. Today, if you've been following the series, you reflected on why you even want to write a book, so you know clearly, I want to write a book for this audience, so that, because the value to you, to your family, and the impact you want your book to have. That's one thing you didn't have at the beginning. If you continue, you dreamed, you visualized your book completed and published. You had a vision of the impact it is having to people reading it, to your audience. Some of you saw them transformation, learning, impacting them. With that vision, it created even more motivation. So you have that vision. That's why you could build your vision board, create your mind map that led you to a place where you have a clear structure for your book. Sometimes I like to say, even if your journey had to stop here, If you have a completed structure, if you took action, because every week recommendation, learning, and then action. If you took action up to week 4, if you've not watched, go and watch the replays. Week 4, you got the step by step to create the structure for your book. And that's one thing that you have. Now, even if you're talking with friends, it's not I thought, I would like. I actually have a completed structure for my book. No, it's clear the parts, the chapters, the different subparts in each tab. That's a win. That's one reason to be happy, to celebrate, and to keep going. Um, in our world today, just giving, you could give that structure to ghostwriters and they will write the book for you. Some clever people are even using ChatGPT to do that. Now, I don't know your position with that, but the structure that you already have is something concrete that you have in hand, you didn't have at the beginning. One more reason for you to stop and celebrate and acknowledge the progress. Yeah, I have a completed structure for my book. That's a win. And I don't know why, it could just be Judith, but I'm sure if you started writing, if you took a trial at 15, 20, 30 minutes writing, be it with your pen and paper or typing on your keyboard or even just speaking, I suggested speaking your book. You may have some thousands words already under your belt. Another reason to be happy is not I think, I actually have 5, 10, 15,000. Yeah, because talking about that now changes the narrative. Like people you'll be talking about, oh, cool. May I have a look? Can I read? You're no more in the dreamland. You're no more in the wishland. You have something concrete that you can actually share. Potential audience, people, your support base, or people who might be interested in what you have to say. For all of that, take a moment this week and really celebrate your progress. That is progress. That is progress. No, no, no. You don't belong to the 90% or more people who keep wishing. A lot of people want to write books a lot, but less than 10% of those who wish to write books actually do. So if you've completed already that structure thing, you're getting closer to be among the less than 10%. You're doing it. And I so much believe you can do it. That's why I encourage you stop and see the progress and choose. I don't want to stop here and keep going. We will discuss clear strategies, at least 4 that I would suggest you use. That will keep you in action. That can ensure you reach that finish line. So stay tuned. Let's start first by acknowledging where you're coming from. I cited some things, but I think I offer some more precise questions to help you reflect on how far you've gone and celebrate your progress. It's all about finding strategies to get to that finish line. And here I wanted us to start by using the quote. Every page, every word, every sentence is just one step closer to the finish line. Just as when you run a marathon, as we will see in a couple minutes, writing a book is kind of a journey, a marathon. It's a long one. It's not you don't see just one thing and then a book appears. So, and if you've run a marathon, you know that it's just one step, one step after the other. When you are in the first kilometer, it's like, okay, sometimes we accelerate, we trying to take the paces fast. But if, say, you're running at 10 kilometers, when you're around 8 kilometers, you start to feel tired. Your thighs are heavier, the breathing, it's more complicated. And at that point, what you're looking for is essentially just put one step in front of the other. And as you just focus on that, just one step in front of the other, you're getting closer to 9 kilometer and then 10, and you'll be done. So today, essentially, we are talking strategies to allow you to put just one foot in front of the other and keep going. That's how you get to the finish line. So I said in that quote that I shared, a book, just one sentence, one more paragraph, one more chapter. Every little thing that you can do to move your book forward is one step closer to the finish line. So please bear in mind, we're not going here for perfection, but any little thing that will keep you in action will get you closer to that finish line. I thought it was a good quote to start the session with. So, celebration for how far you've come. It's important to do that. We tend to just go, and depending on how naturally most people, psychology research shows that most people tend to overlean on what is missing, what is lacking, what is tilted down. I'm offering you that we start this session by thinking about how full, what do we already have? And stopping to acknowledge that is really important. It gives moment. You see you're making progress. You see you're not where you were before. And the more you see progress, oh, I can actually get there. When you notice, or I was talking about the 7 or 8 kilometers, you're really closer to the 10 than to zero. So the more you realize, oh yeah, actually I did, remains just one, remains just two, remains just half. And for you to see that, you need to stop and look how far you've come from. That's why I'm really insisting in today's session, stop and recognize the milestones, how far you've come. And I listed some couple minutes ago. Because, guys, writing a book is a long journey. And I'm proposing three things to help you really stop and acknowledge where you've come from. First, writing, it's a long journey, it's a marathon, it's not a quick thing. So if you started this thinking that, well, I'm just gonna take some time, few minutes, and I'll be there in couple days. For most people, the experience is that writing a book, it's a marathon, it's a long journey. There are various steps. But even if it feels overwhelming at the moment, even if you feel tired, even if you feel like, oh my God, someone said it, I didn't know it would be this heavy. Hey, just put another foot in front and you're getting closer. Just one more step. So, strategy number one, acknowledge that it is a long, it's a marathon. Acknowledging that will make, okay, I'm feeling tired, it's longer, it's okay, it's normal, it's part of the process. And it's not that, oh, maybe I'm not good at this, all the doubt and the wanting to give up. No, it's just part of the thing. It's your strategy to keep going that will make the difference. Strategy number two, acknowledge milestones. How far? What have you already? And we did that couple minutes ago. The plan, the why, the impact. Looking at that will make you see, oh, I'm making progress. Strategy number three is actually stopping to and really celebrate those milestones and acknowledging, getting them in the mindset of progress over perfection. One thing that I see a lot of times is people being like, yeah, it's heavy. And by the way, it's just the first draft. So it's not even good. Then I'll take the time. Oh my God. We are shooting for completed, as you will see. This is like one of the key strategy. Change the mindset. Don't go for perfection. Go for a completed draft. I like to say completed is better than perfect. Really. And I have so many examples to cite. I know people, when I wrote A Woman of Influence 2018 or 17, that's like more than 5, 6 years ago. Oh wow, you did it. We always thought about writing a book, Judith, and you would love to. And I shared with them the process as I'm doing with you now. But up till today, no book. Why? Because they're shooting for perfect. No, I cannot put this out. Ah, not good enough. I still need this. And they could wait 10 more years and they could even go back to the ground without publishing that book. Is that what you want? Completed is better than perfect. Like finishing the marathon is better than giving up. Even if you finish walking, yeah, I did. Was it the 15? And at some point, the person was feeling so bad, it was hard to breathe. And okay, let's just walk. But at least you finish the race. You don't just disappear somewhere. Finish is better than perfect. That's another thing I suggest. Switch. Even that thing is just finish, because since it is finished, is something you can print, you can see, you can get the feedback, you can get help, something, an idea of a book somewhere in the wish land. You have something concrete that other people can put their eyes on. That when you pause and when you get more time, you can improve to the level of perfection you want. But at least you have something in the head, not something you're thinking about in your head. It's something concrete, it's factual, something like data you can see, people can see, can touch, can read, can listen to it. It's better than something that you have. I'm thinking, is thinking is in the air, it's not concrete. So let's shoot for having something, even if it's not perfect, but you have something that you can perfect over time. And then one last strategy I suggest is taking time for reflection. um and it's what I suggest we do today. Stopping to reflect will allow you to see from where you're coming from. You also allow you to see what is working. Hey, how did you manage to create the couple chapters, the couple words that you were able to write? How did you do that? We stop to reflect to see what is working. You've been able to create a plan. You've been able to get couple chapters under your belt. How did you do that? What system, what process, what organization? What is working? And so far, what do you enjoy in the process? We want to identify those parts that you enjoy, because enjoyment will give energy, energy to motivate you to keep going. I'll talk some more about that. But reflection time is when you stop and think, oh, this month, this week, I did this. Wow, I noticed that writing early mornings is great. Okay, how do I make that happen? These are strategy because it's working. How can I do that more? And what are the things that took all my energy? It was tiring, frustrating. I didn't like doing A, B, C. Identifying those things that are not working can also allow you to change, to switch, to tune your process so that you can keep and do more of what works and abandon the things that are not working. So the four things I'm suggesting you do, we are in week 4, is to really recognize that writing a book is a journey, could be tiring, and it's okay, it's normal. If you're feeling tired, it's normal. If you feel like, oh, I need a break, it's normal. If you feel like it's harder than I thought, it's normal. Just breathe. And okay, it's a journey, it's not a sprint. So when else, how do I adjust and switch my plan? Number 2, recognize important milestones that you've achieved and then get and stay into the mindset of progress over perfection. Lastly, take the time to do the reflection. This is really good. Reflection is a great I think reflective practice brings a lot of value. And if you follow me on other series, you know I talk about that too. Pause allows you to acknowledge what is going on, and from there to pick what is good, what is not good, and then you can switch and adapt accordingly. So, having said that, I'm curious. I would like to hear from you. What milestone in your writing journey so far are you most proud of? We want to call your attention, bring your attention on what is good and what you like. I think I'm also going to type this on the chat so that even if you watch the replay, I'd like to hear from you. What milestone in your writing journey are you proud of? What do you like? I want to take the time and stop here because, as I was saying a couple minutes ago, this thing that you enjoy, this thing that you're doing, and that and it can be a source of motivation on days when you're like this. If, for example, I work with someone, what she enjoyed about the writing journey was the visualization. Whenever she will start to visualize how her book published, doing workshops, attending conferences, it always gave her a lot of energy because she could see and feel the impact, the difference that book could make. And as she stopped and did visualization, she always come out of that activity. Oh yeah, it's good. I can see. She even had people, precise people in mind, people from her fan base. Yeah, I think I can see she could do this. And with that energy, after we would do the visualization, maybe in a coaching session, I'll ask, how do you feel? Oh, great. I have more energy than when we started. Good. So what caused that? Okay, I could see this, I could see that. Okay, how do you want to take it from here? Yeah, knowing that this part of my book helped this person in the visualization achieve this, I feel like going and writing. I feel like continuing. I feel like so that's the value of identifying the part, the milestone that you enjoy, the part of the process that you enjoy. You can always go back there and be refreshed. For this person is visualization. For another person, there was someone more from the engineering background, and for her, she loved creating workbook, having ideas, putting them together, and creating some easy worksheets that will help the reader put into practice what she said in her book. That was it gave her a lot of energy. So when she will feel, oh, this thing is long, it's getting me tired, and I'm like, okay, how are the worksheets going? Yeah, I've done a lot of them, but there's this new one, okay? And I can notice that when she talks about worksheets, there's energy because her engineering mind already seeing the new worksheet, the new aspect, how it will help people put that in practice. And as she talks about that, I could see it was evident that she loved creating worksheets. So whenever we'll come and she'll feel like she's stuck, going back to the worksheet will help find that energy. And from this place where there's renewed energy, what can you create next? And there have been moments when she'll create a worksheet of a chapter before the chapter because the worksheet get the energy. And with that energy, she could write 1,000, 2,000 words she needed for the chapter. Are you getting the point I'm making here? Reflection time, acknowledging milestones will make you see what you like, what puts you in the flow, which portion of the process or of the writing journey brings you energy. And you can always go back there. You can always go back there. And that can be a source for you to get the energy to keep going. Judith, keep going, else you'll not finish the content you've planned. Oh, sorry, I touched the wrong thing. So let's move. I said today, before we go, I'll share concrete practical strategies you can use to get to the finish line. Before getting there, where are you? It's good to take stock of where you are. Um, let's get honest. Let's look into each other's eye and talk about the progress. Our promise, our commitment has been 12 weeks from the idea to a completed draft. Where are you today? We are in week 8. And normally if we followed our plan, so you have this week to finish that draft, because starting next week we'll talk editing, which is an important aspect, editing that will just bring your book at another level, editing that will help improve improve the book, the raw thing, the draft that you've created. So normally by the end, in the next 7 days, you're supposed to have finished with the initial ideas you have for your book. And now I'm looking you and asking, where are you with that draft? Where are you today? Um, it's okay to tell me, oh, Judy, you have no idea. I'm far behind. You have no idea how many times I heard that. It's okay. It's okay. How much? I'll still ask how much behind. Say if you had 20 chapters to write, how many chapters have you written? How many chapters are remaining? And it could be silly if you have 20 chapters and you have written just 4. Congratulations, good job. It's great. We know we have 16 to go. It's good to acknowledge where you are. That's where you can plan how to move forward. So let's not put our head in the sand. Just acknowledge where you are. That's it. And then the next thing is, how do you need to adjust your plan to finish that first draft? Do you remember we talked about shooting for completion, not perfection? Completion, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. So I don't know how much remains, even if you've written less than half or less than the third. It's good. My next question for you is, what is still possible for the next 4 weeks? We still have 4 weeks to go. So as you're looking at how far you are, please get into the mindset of half full, not half empty. Don't answer the questions in terms of what is missing, what is lacking, what you're still to start. Think about how much progress. I have 4 chapters. I have ideas of worksheets. I have started the assessment. And just look at that. So, the next question, as I offered, is from where you are, how can you adjust the plan? How do you want to adjust the plan? I want to add want, because I've noticed coming from a place of prescription, do this, okay, that's Judith. She doesn't know my reality. She doesn't know like how the kids manage me here at home. Like, so I'll give back this question from where you are today. What are you willing to do to adjust so that 4 weeks from now, we celebrate you, we celebrate your progress, we celebrate your unperfect but completed draft. So that 4 weeks from now, we celebrate your uncompleted, your non perfect but completed draft. We want complete, not perfection. Perfection sucks. If you watch my contents and shorts, you know that perfection sucks. Perfection is a reason to procrastinate. Progress is worth it. So we throw perfection to the bin and just keep moving. I know a lot of you out there may not agree with what I say, but I really believe that it's better to have something here that is not perfect than something perfect in our mind being planned and thought about for years. Perfection sucks. So, as you identify the key things where you are, what is left, we can now move to, okay, what adjustments are needed. And I offer a series of questions. I think I'll find a way to disappear to allow you to capture. Essentially, the questions I'm proposing here are to help you really identify what is working and what you could do to really adjust your process. I talk about things like writing habit. Is there something you can change about your habit? What has been working in terms of habits so far? The time or the routine before, what writing habit has helped you? And in terms of consistency, what has been working? What process? Which sessions of your book seem to be easier to write? And how has your outline evolved? All these questions is to get you to a place where you can identify one thing that can help you get to the finished stretch, to the finished final line. That's the most important. We want completed, we want done, even if not perfect. So, what is one thing that you want to do that you can choose to do that will allow you to get to that finish line? I offered questions here, and in the next couple slides, I offer some suggestions to really help you get to that finish line. Now, I'll be curious to hear you. Yeah, what is one thing you can do to get to the finish line? I think this one I want to type in here so that even if you watch the replay, you can see it. Oh my God, Judy, your captions are in French. Okay. So I'll just leave it like this and continue. You see, I'm talking about keep going, not perfection. I'm feeling embarrassed. Whoa, are you gonna display caption in French? You can see it's not perfect, but I don't say I'm not going live, I'm not doing this because it's not perfect. At the end of the day, even if there are some technical glitches, even if my English is not perfect, even if there are misses, a couple people are finding value. And that's all. And keeping your commitment at the end of 2024, you guys say you wrote books. We want to be able, let's do this. We're doing this. Have you noticed that everything that we're talking about continuing can also be applied to any goal that you have? Hey, maybe it's time for me to share that it's not easy to do this live. Really? I don't know if my eyes are letting you know, but I'm feeling tired. And sometimes maybe I'll be with friends now. Oh, I got to go and prepare the live, blah blah blah. And some people will say, "Why are you even doing that to yourself? Like, why?" Um, but my why is deep. I told you, I feel like it's a mission for me. To help activate that super thing in you. And I said yes. If it was still like something I thought about in the dreamland, I could say I'm tired today, I'm going to sleep. But it's that's the reason why we did the pre-work, your why. I feel the responsibility that anyone who watched the channel and said, "Yeah, we want to write," and I say, "Yes, we are doing this. We are taking 12 weeks to do it." I'm responsible to keep that commitment. So, because of that, why? Little progress, I'll be here. Technical glitches, I will continue. My caption's not showing right, I will continue. And that's the importance of why. And you took the time to reflect on your why. That's why I'm like, just one little step, just one. Progress, not perfection, guys. So I offered even more questions here to help you. Hey, celebrate what is good. Make time, get intentional to celebrate and recognize the progress. I know that in general, people who are high achiever, they tend to go, push through, and then when they finish next thing, they tend to have go. I talk about that in so much detail because I am one. Stopping to acknowledge, oh my God, this is a lot. I don't stop. In general, like I'm thinking now the series will be over in about 4 weeks. What comes next? What are we doing? Am I obliged to do something else? No. But in general, high performers are like that. If you watching the series, you're one like that. Sometimes it helps to also pause and acknowledge and celebrate. It's good. It's good because it reinforces your confidence. It makes you see the impact you're having, and you can do even more. It's not just yet another thing on your to do list, yet another achievement, but reflecting deeply on the impact you're having can allow you to amplify it, can allow you to go in a direction where it is specific and more impactful. A, stopping to reflect and acknowledge and celebrate the progress. There's always energy, momentum, and realizing, wow, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And so, if we bring back from that general to this book idea, this book project, hey, how much have you already written? How many chapters? How many words? Are you halfway through? Depending on what you see there, I really invite you to do something to recognize yourself. If it was a child who had a project like this or a friend, what would you do to show, hey, you're doing this, girl? You're great. Do that for you. Do that. Sometimes we are kind of good to do things for others, but not for us. Oh my God, the girl is really killing me. She's almost halfway in the book. Yeah, the girl is also you. So you can offer yourself a card. You can write a thank you. You can, but do something to recognize you. And as I'm talking about that, I'm thinking I could do that myself. I can offer myself a nice card saying good job, Judith, for the series. um Everything that we are sharing around the tiredness, writing a book, how it can feel heavy, how it may feel hard or harder than you thought. I'm actually feeling that with the series. Maybe it was too ambitious of me to do like 3 series in 2 languages every week. Well, now that I'm talking about that, it's like, ooh, that's a lot of content. I understand then why people have been texting. Really, are you doing this? Are you a content machine? And we are in week 8. So definitely, I think I'll do that card thing. I'll send myself a card saying, thank you for keeping your commitment with the series to activate author leaders and coaches. I'll do that. And I invite you to do the same. Do something. For me, I'm thinking a card. It could be something of, if you're a spa person, or do something to celebrate you for the progress you've made. It's important. It will give some value to what you're doing. You make you see you're rocking it, and it give you confidence to keep going. It can help motivate that next step because you see, I've already done all of this. Good job. So I want to ensure we really take the time to go in details on the strategies to keep writing. I think I'll go there right now. Um, I noticed that, okay, before talking about that, I insisted, I think it's important to talk about adjustment and timelines. You've done some reflection so far with the questions offered, and maybe you're not where you're supposed to be with your draft. Maybe there are some parts that are still missing. So, my invitation for you now will be to from what you see is still needed, can you set a different, choose a different timeline to complete that first draft? And I thought it might be good to talk some more about the timeline here because we tend to, activities, what we want to do, tend to stretch on the time we give it. Um, Example, if you say, okay, I'll take the whole day of Saturday to clean and organize my home. I said Saturday, I didn't precise how long. So my brain has heard Saturday and it can be Saturday the whole day. Except if I say I'll take Saturday from 10 to 12, from 8 to 10 to clean the house, which is more specific. So I know I have 2 hours. How do I clean? I don't know, a house of how many rooms? How do I reorganize that? Giving a timeline sort of gives you a box. It has to happen within this timeline because at 12, I'm doing this other thing. At 12, I'm driving the kids here. At 12, I'm doing so. Your brain knows that something else is happening at 12. It's important to put timeline to our planning. Timeline will keep us like, okay, it has to happen here. And timeline, when we, especially when we announce when we announce to other people, to people other than us, keeps us accountable. um if, for example, we say, okay, the series is happening because there's a date and time, Saturday 10, it's Saturday 10. There may be technical problems that will cause the thing to be postponed, but it's Saturday 10. My brain knows that. People around me know that 10. Mom, you cannot call her. She's not available. She's live. Uh, Timeline puts a box, puts nice a word in French comme le cadre. Puts the box around what you want to achieve. And even if it has to shift, as they do in project management, if something has to shift in the timeline or course, everything adjusts accordingly. So you've done some reflection, you know where you are with your draft, and you may need additional time. My point here is work, identify that specific deadline. It will help you a lot because that deadline, your brain will remind you, your fan base will remind you, people who are interested or waiting, they'll remind you. There's so much power. There's so much power in having a timeline and letting people know about a timeline. The illustration I like to take about a timeline is you will be able to complete the activity in the timeline you give yourself. You doubt, give it a try. If say so far you've been taking, I don't know, two writing sessions to complete a chapter, say 2 hours time two to complete one chapter, just give it a try. I'm gonna try to write for an hour. You said that Pomodoro, and your brain knows like whatever I want to say, I wanted to say. Instead of 2 hours, I have 1 hour. Go and try it and tell me how it went. In general, you'll be surprised at how much you will get done. And that's why the Pomodoro system works, because it sets boundaries. Another example I like to take, if we come back to the cleaning home thing, you can take the whole Saturday to clean the home. But if you're told that in 2 hours, the local TV station will come and shoot because your family was selected for blah, 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 but the TV is coming to your place, I'm sure maybe in 1 hour, 30 minutes, that house will be ready. Why? There's a pressure. It has to happen because you know that it has to happen within these 2 hours. So you put that time and your brain hears it, and would there be speed? You will organize, you strategize better. Same for when, I don't know, there's a party, there's a reception, and you know that your invitees will be there by a certain time. There's some kind of adjustment that makes you to be ready. It's the same, I don't want to say urgency, but that kind of timeline that you could put around your writing time. And that's why there's some value in, if my timeline moves, when is the next time? I thought it was important to stress this out so that you give it a try and see. This may help you complete the book to the finish line. If you've been sitting and, okay, let's go as far as we can, try to put a timeline. I have 30 minutes, an hour to finish this chapter, and see what happens. So now, quickly, guys, I'm seeing time is running against me. We have like 15 minutes to go. These are the strategies I told you you can use to overcome writing fatigue and really get to that finish line. Four strategies they are. Number one, mindset. Mindset. I completely agree with those who say you think and then you feel and you do. Thinking, what are you thinking? And one mindset that's keeping a lot of people from getting to that finish line, oh my God, this draft is bad. And my proposal here is for you to embrace the lousy, poor, bad draft. It's okay, but it's a completed draft. Get okay with it's not good, but it's completed. Throw away perfection and be fine with the status where it is. You may say it's so bad when actually some people find it's good. And it's normal that it's not good. It's the first draft. You will have rounds of edit to perfect it. It's okay. I mean, a bad draft is a draft that you can send to friends, to editors, to your fan base. At least you can send them something to start to get the feedback than a perfect thing that is in your head. It's not a document that you can send to anyone for review for perfection. It's even one more reason to finish it so at least you can easily get the feedback to improve it. And to take the courage to go there, you need to be okay that it's the first draft and it's normal that it will suck. Some people I work with, oh, wow, I think I got something that is really bad. Excellent. It's normal. Yes, we all start with that. It's good. You have something. Now you can read and improve. You can send to someone, get the feedback. You can ask, you can give to your audience for them to give you the feedback. But at least it is completed, guys. So, strategy number one, get rid of perfection and accept first draft will suck. It's just normal. As you do that mindset shift, it's okay, it will not be perfect. The second thing, I commit to non-negotiable writing, commitment to that time, even if it's 10 minutes. Commit like it's a non-negotiable. And one thing that will help you with to make this time a non-negotiable thing is your why. Um all the time, sometimes you talk to people, they're so miserable to their work, but you're still going there. And when I'll ask them in coaching, say, why are you still, I need to feed my family. I need to pay my mortgage. I need to. So the why are you writing the book? That's why we took the time at the beginning. And that's why this thing that Simon Sinek did is so good. When you're clear and the why has weight, you're not gonna allow just distraction or any type of things to take you away from that writing time. That's why strategy number two, really commit to that why. Imagine if you knew that at the end of this first draft you can submit it to an agent that could get your book published, that could get you a publishing contract. Would you allow kids, hobby or visiting or to get you off your writing? No. You say, oh honey, please can you take care of them? I have this, the agent is working. Yeah, it will be managed. If you knew that that conference coming, I don't know, in May, in summer, there are some people waiting to get that draft to see how they can get involved. If you could present next year, knowing the impact, knowing the why will make you protect that writing time. Strategy number two, like make your writing time a non-negotiable. Because if it's easy, you have that time, it's on your agenda, you're sitting in front of the computer or in the little office you created for you. And then, oh, mom, I'm hungry. You're gone. Mom, there's this friend visiting. You're gone. Mom, I can't find this. Oh my God. So it's like anything can just take you away from the writing time. But when you know, like even those kids or all these people around, when they know that this is what puts food on the table, does not disturb you like that. When they know that you being a speaker at that conference depends on this draft, you will not allow and they'll be supportive. So I'm inviting you for strategy number two. What is the why? Go and watch week two of the series. We talked a lot about the why, week one and two. I want to write a book for this audience to allow them to do the value to the audience because the importance to you, to your family, or to the legacy you want to leave. Reread that sentence again. And what impact if you don't write? Can you afford not to write that book? If it's not relevant, I can guarantee you with everything that the life throws at us, you go on the bottom line of your checklist and you may not get it done on time. But when that why is clear, when you know I have these two, three people waiting to read, there's this coming, it can bring me new flow of clients. Now I'm talking to my peer coaches or consultant. You know that having a book on Amazon can bring you more clients. You know that this can change the type of your business. You will not just allow anything to take you off that writing time. That's strategy number two. Number three, I suggest that you see what you can tweak, what you can change on your environment. I needed to add also environment and process. I offered a couple questions ago to let you reflect on What is working? What is working so far? Whether you created the structure or the organization, or you have couple chapters, a certain number of words, what environment allowed you to do that writing? Hey, replicate that environment, replicate the process, replicate what was put in place to make it work. And if something is not working, change it. If you notice that writing at home, it's easy for kids. I talk a lot about kids because I have kids, and I know, especially weekends when they need something, depending on their age. Mom, I want this, mom, and you cannot, you're distracted. Change, try the library. I don't know where you live, but I know some countries have very good libraries, and that has been a secret weapon for me. Library, phone off. It's really just thinking. You just write, and you will write. You doubt, give it a try and see by yourself. Library, Pomodoro, no phone. It's just it, and you have a commitment. I have like 4 hours, 5 hours in the library to create this. Just give it a try and see by yourself. So, if the environment at home is too cloudy, people visit too much, you're kind of someone who always welcome. Family, African family were like that. People can come without announcing, and you need to take care, provide, and do. So if you're on your writing time and some people come, maybe hard to say, mom cannot come out of the room, she's working. Except if you tell them, they know that okay, it's your PhD, it's your this thing that you have to submit. But in general, it's like you're obliged to get up and go and take care of them. If that's the environment you're in and that has been keeping you from writing, change. Library, to a friend, to school, wherever, change the setting. And if it's not the place, but it's more the time, try something else. Sometimes trying, finding something inspiring, you may be surprised. And the last strategy, I love, love, love this one, and I've used it a couple times because it works. It's the sprint. The sprint to where you agree, you find kind of an accountability partner and you do a sprint to complete to get to that finish line. How does it work? Maybe you have someone else who is also writing, working on their project. So you come, you agree together to take, I don't know, couple hours a day, a weekend. I have been in weekends to write, and I loved it. It gets you make giant progress, really huge progress on your writing. Why it works? Because you're not alone. You leverage the power of togetherness. Um, just like you, other people like yeah, it's heavy for them to continue, but you motivate each other. Uh, the one I did, like most people were in San Diego, some California. I was in Montreal. But Zoom, today we have technology, a lot of tools. I've even done some with people in Europe, different parts, but you agree, okay, if we're doing it this weekend, it's 2 days, the structure is there. The one we did by Friday, you needed to have the structure of your book ready. And then there was an hour we were connecting 8:30, 30 minutes to share the logistics by 9, the first Pomodoro. So we had like 3 or 4 sessions of Pomodoro, um 2 to 2 hours each. And the amount of content we could create, it was not just Judith. There's so much power in that because every 2 hours you stop and then a little 15 minutes. How are you? What progress? What do you need? What motivation? Little drink or coffee here. And then second Pomodoro. We did 9:11 and then 11:30, little break, 1:30. 1:30 lunch break. We came back around 4:33, 3 to 5. And then some people say that it was too much for them, but some other continued from like 7 to 9. We created a lot of things, a lot of things. And there's power in that because you are not alone. When you feel tired writing or whatever, you raise your head, you see the other person in their camera, they're still thinking, they're still writing, they're still researching. It keeps you. And when at the end of the 2 hours, when you talk to each other, yeah, I could do this, I realized this, and oh, If you feel like I'm tired, oh no, Judith, like remember how far with your plan. They know you because you shared at the beginning where you're going. To find words to encourage you. A lot of people also use things like this. Some people call it retreat, book writing retreat. But these are powerful sprint that allow you to get to that finish line. You have 3 more, 4 more chapters to go. Take a weekend, it can get done. Some people write, like, get their first draft out in a weekend. Why not you? So these are the strategies. I'll share them again. I don't want to go overboard too much with time. I want to be respectful of your time. These are the 4 strategy. Mindset, perfection sucks. So be okay. You create first draft, it's not good, but it's completed. Second strategy, non-negotiable writing time. No one should stop you from having that time. Number 4, as some switch is necessary in your environment, go for them and then sprint with accountability. Now, I feel like asking you, of all the strategies, which one do you want to take? Do you want to try to get to the finish line? Our aim is to get you to the finish line. So, which strategy can you use to overcome the fatigue and keep going and do that additional step? Just one more. I like to say just one more paragraph, just one more sentence. Because each, as we've seen at the beginning, each new sentence, each new word is getting you closer to that finish line. So which of these strategy, I'll display them again, I'll disappear maybe if you want to capture it. Which of these strategy are you willing to try so that you get to that finish line? And that's our aim. Mindset, non-negotiable writing, changing your environment, or sprint with peers or friends. Hopefully you have identified. I'll be glad to hear from you, even if you watch the replay, to hear the strategy you choose to use. And it's now time for action. Judith, hurry up. Before going, what are the action steps for you this week? One, adjust that timeline if you are not on time with your setup. If you don't think you will complete your draft this week, when is the next date for you? What strategy will you choose? You've seen the 4 strategies, and then make some time to stop and celebrate your progress. Coming up next week, we will talking next week. We're getting into the last month of our series. Just 4 more weeks to go. Yay! And then it will be over. So we talked about writing strategies to get started, how to keep going, how to leverage the momentum of your fan and to keep going, keep writing. Month 2 was all about writing. Next month, for the last 4 weeks, we will talk about ways, strategies, and tools to bring that initial draft to another level. Interested in perfection? We'll talk some more about some ways, some things you can do, how to leverage other to improve that draft. And still, we're not going for perfection. Perfection sucks. We are shooting for progress. So starting next week, you'll be editing, how to self-edit, how to find a great editors. What is great editing? These are some questions we'll be asking. What else can we do to activate, to keep you in action so that 4 weeks from now we celebrate you and your progress with your book? Let us know in the chat. Until next time, it'll be a joy to meet you same time, same channel, 12 EST for English or 10 if you speak French. It's been a pleasure and I'm looking forward to connecting with you next week for another series of tools and strategy to bring out and activate or amplify the author in you in 2025. Activate the superhero in you. It was Judith Glory. Bye.